Welcome back, Mavericks. And I'm frustrated. Tonight, we're going to talk about 3 things that really bother me about the bike industry. First, I want to talk about planned obsolescence. What's planned obsolescence? If you don't already know from owning a car, it's designing things that are never meant to last. Sadly, it's no different with your bike. Your bicycle is designed to have its chain replaced about every 2,500 miles. And your rear cassette needs to be replaced about every 5,000, 7,000 miles. Now, many of you might think, well, heck, I'm a recreational rider or a commuter. I don't go 2,500 miles a year. Well, true, but every year, gotta have the chain replaced. When you get into high-end components like Campanolo or high-end Shimano Dura Ace, you've got really nice components on your bike, you still have to replace it in the same mileage. Well, why? If you told me I had to replace my transmission annually in my car, I wouldn't own the car. But I have to replace my cassette annually because I personally do over 5,000 miles a year on my bike. In fairness, if you're a rec rider or a commuter, odds are you'll go 3-4 years before you'll have to replace that. But it's kind of crazy. And it kind of upsets me because I'm buying Campanolo level components or Dura Ace level components. These are not cheap. They cost a lot of money. And because I ride more, I've got to now spend more money. Replacing that cassette is hundreds of dollars. It just doesn't seem right to spend that kind of money every year because I ride my bike as much as the industry wants me to. Seriously? That's the kind of thing that makes me a 1-gear rider because it's cheaper to replace 1 gear annually with a chain twice a year for the mileage I cover. It's just cheaper. Next, I want to talk about this. Disc brakes. Disc brakes stop incredibly. They work great. They work great dry. They work great wet. They do grip better. But there's a problem. You get any of this dirty with mud, grease, cleaners when you're cleaning your bike, etc. Or inside, back here, where the pads are, and they're going to squeal to high heaven. How much more stopping power is worth loud noise, constant maintenance, and expensive repairs? These things get dirty a lot. Ask me how I know. And I'm not even an off-road rider. I can't imagine being a mountain biker and having to deal with this constant scraping, screaming, squealing. Even if it does stop me more, it's annoying as hell. And it's costly. So what are we doing? And I think the third thing that bothers me about this industry is that it doesn't seem to take its own future seriously. All the focus is on these high-end, expensive, hard-to-maintain bicycles. The industry is not focused on bicycle culture in America. Everyday use, replacing the car, commuting, doing your errands, all that stuff. Even e-bikes, which were supposed to be the savior of the bike industry, are losing out to powered skateboards and powered razors and things like that because our industry has no focus on getting that customer and their kids and growing them on a bicycle from a young age with all the advantages. We're too focused on trying to sell this stuff to them. And it's not healthy or helpful to the industry. Every aspect of what we do and sell in this industry should be focused on the future. And the future is more people on bicycles more often. How do you do that? You don't do it by selling the guy who bought a $6,000 bike his next $10,000 bike. Sure, that's great. It's nice to see the margin. But I would much rather sell 5 people a base level bike who aren't regular riders and become regular riders because of the resources available to them, because the industry wants them there, because the industry cares about them. So they're not doing those things we already talked about. Expensive parts to replace all the time that are designed to be obsolete. Things that are complicated to maintain and you can't do in your own garage or on the side of a road, God forbid, if you have a mechanical. And that's what pushes me time and again to recommend one-gear bikes to people, because one-gear bikes are simple. They're designed to be used. Long miles, long hours, all the time. It's not as convenient or useful for pulling groceries behind or your child on hills in particular. E-bikes are great for that. But my industry isn't focusing on that in the US. Overseas, you see it all the time. Why? Because the industry over there understands how people ride. And people over there have gone beyond cars because the industry has been taking them that way for 50 years. We don't do that here. Every bike company who sells in America is competing with car companies, and they should know that. Every bike shop is competing with an auto dealer and a skateboard company and a razor company who make electrics now. But we have health benefits and advantages they don't have. It's more useful. You can do more with it. Try pulling your kid in their car seat in a buggy on an electric skateboard. Not so convenient or safe or useful. We have a bicycle that'll do all that for you. So I'm going to keep touting one-gear bikes to people until my industry starts touting all bikes for people and makes them affordable, accessible, easy to maintain, and inexpensive to maintain. So that's it, Mavericks. 3 things that really bother me about the bike industry today, and things that need to change if we're going to have a bike industry in North America tomorrow. Come on, let's ride. And don't forget to pick up your SCHWAG from this episode or any of our episodes at the Maverick Store.